Hello again everyone, Ken from Whittling Woods, back again with another little whittling wood carving tutorial. Today we're going to do something pretty simple. It's especially great for people who don't have access to wood carving knives and basswood and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to use a branch, a Stanley 199, and carve this little keychain, wizard, hillbilly, whatever you want to make them. Don't mind this one. I tried a different type of finish on there. It didn't really come out that great, but just kind of as an example. My wife actually picked me up these little key ring things. You can pick them up at the big box stores and all that. They're just basically these little key rings. They kind of come apart like that and they clip together. They're perfect for doing this kind of thing here. If you do your little whittle, drill a hole in it, and then you can attach a key maybe to your garage door, your car, whatever, just a little keychain, something a little different to carry around. But that's it. We're going to do this pretty simple whittle. This little branch here, I believe, is a piece of walnut. I cut it probably over a year ago and just stored it in some water. It's about just shy of 4 inches. And the diameter is probably looks like about 3/4 of an inch, so it's really small. Any type of branch, anybody has access to this. You don't have to use walnut. Use whatever you want. And I believe this is walnut. I could be wrong though, but it certainly looks like walnut. We have a bunch of black walnut trees behind our property here, and one fell out a little over a year ago, and I cut some branches off. I just stored it in water to keep it relatively easy to cut. So anyway, that's what we're going to do, and I'll get everything set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. First thing, what I'd like to do is just, in this case here, a lot of times if I'm doing wood spirits, I leave the bark, part of the bark on, but in this case, we're not going to need the bark, so we're just going to sit here and remove it. And it's pretty simple. I'm going to just go around and start removing the bark. So let me finish up on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I removed most of the bark, and it looks like a little bug has already decided that this would make a good keychain and started a hole for me. So hopefully our little friend there is gone. It should be. It's been in a bucket of water for over a year now, so unless it's an aquatic bug. So I'm just going to kind of narrow the top down a bit here. I'm going to just come around here, and we're going to make it, kind of come to a bit of point. He's going to have a little bit of a pointy hat, so that's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of taking this down a bit here. What I'm going to do is, kind of angle it slightly to one side maybe, because I like to have the tip kind of fold over a bit on the top. So that's all I'm doing here. And this is no body. It's just a hat. So what I do typically is, as you can kind of see here, I'm angling it slightly, and I'm going to put a little notch over here because the hat's basically going to fold around. I'll have a picture up here in the corner so you'll see the final product, but so we're going to put a little notch over here, and just to create which would have been the top of the hat if it hadn't, if it wasn't kind of folded over. I just like doing it like that. You don't have to. You can make it pointy at the top if you choose. I just kind of like doing it this way. So you kind of see just a little notch over there, and then we'll just kind of take this end back a little bit, and then take this round over that top a bit more. That's all. Depending on the wood, you're going to have the pith right in the center here. You can barely see it, and it's right there. That's what you're just going to have that with the branch. So that's it. So you kind of see it kind of real quickly. It just sort of folds over. I might undercut that a little bit more, but sometimes I finish up the hat right at the end. So that's where we're at. What I do now is I'll come, and we'll call this the front of the, I'll look at it which way. I want, maybe if you look at the wood, you kind of see it protrudes out here slightly. So maybe we'll make this the front over here. Maybe. Look at that hole. It goes right through, it looks like. Pretty interesting. Anyway, so that's going to have a little hole in it. That's kind of cool. I don't mind that. Yeah, I guess so. Why not? We'll make his hat right here, I think. Like the front of the right here. So I'm going to put a little notch over here, and I'm going to just kind of cut right up to that And what I do is I just define the bottom of the hat. So I'm just going to kind of come around, angling it slightly downward towards the back. So you can kind of see I'm starting to whittle around here. And I'll just keep angling my knife right around until I get to the back side. So you can kind of see it just angles slightly towards the back. That's all. I'm going to finish up the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, there you are. Pretty simple. We just went around there and did that. You can see he's got quite a bit of a little critter made a home in there. So kind of cool. Anyway, we're going to call this the front of his face, and we're going to put his nose right about here. So first thing we're going to do is just define the bottom of the nose. So I'll come down. You can kind of see where I'm at here. Coming down a little ways from the base of the hat, and I'm going to put a little notch in for his nose. And cut right up to that. These are real simple whittles to do, and you can see what I'm using to do it. So whittling can be a very easy hobby and very inexpensive hobby to get into. So you can see here, that's you can go out and grab a branch and a Stanley. I'll have a link in the video to show you how I kind of sharpen up these Stanley blades for whittling, in case you're interested. So there you go. I just put a little notch in there for his nose. Then I'm going to come up here. I'll just kind of show you what that looks like. That's it. I just kind of angled it up, and then I'm just going to kind of come in here and define the ends of the nose over here. So I just put my knife in the wood, like so. A little notch up at the top here, stop cut, and then I'm just going to remove a bit of wood over here. So that's all we're doing. We're just defining the nose over here. You can kind of see. All right, and then we'll do the same thing on this side over here. And don't worry about getting it straight or anything like that. It's an old wizard, old hillbilly, whatever he's going to be. He can have a crooked nose. And then we're just going to same thing. We're going to come over here and remove that little bit of wood on that side of the nose as well. All right, and then maybe trim that up a bit. So all we did was just kind of define a bit of the nose at this point. We'll shape it up a little bit more, maybe, depending on what you want. But that's it. Sometimes when the wood is it's still a little wet from sitting in it. It's not green wood because it's been cut, like I said, well over a year ago. So anyway, there you go. He's got a bit of a nose, but it's because it was sitting in a bucket of water. It stood. It's still relatively easy to carve. I'm just gonna shape the bottom of the nose a little bit better. All right. I might thin this out a bit more. Something like that. It's pretty easy. What I do is get the nose done, and then I work on the rest of the face there. So there you go, kind of like that. All right. Oops, got a little piece in here. I'm going to clean up. So get to that point, and we'll finish we'll get to the rest of the figure here. I'll give you a look on both sides. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I actually took a little bit of a break. My neighbor started cutting their grass, or having it cut, and it was making a bit of racket in the background. In the interim, I just realized how extensive that little bug nesting was. So we're going to see if we can incorporate that into the hat. I started whittling it back a little bit more, and we'll see if we can find a way to make it look like it's part of the hat. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the fun of it. You don't know what you're going to run into. So something like that, like maybe the hat is bending right there somehow. Just work with it and see. It may not work out, and go cut another branch, right? It's not that big a deal. So I'm just kind of playing around with it here. So you can see maybe his hat's going to be really kind of bent over a bit more than we originally thought. But maybe we'll work that into the thing here. I don't know. We'll see. I want to leave a little bit because I got to put a hole through here for the case for the keychain thing. So we don't want to take too much out. But maybe that's kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. Just work with what you have and see if you can make it if you can make it come out. So there you go, something like that. A little hook on top of his hat. It looks kind of crazy, I know, but maybe we'll thin this out a bit too in here. All right, just kind of showing you, what to don't, maybe you can make the nature's little whittling bug work for you. I like to, that's why I like a lot of times using wood like this, because it's kind of fun. You don't know what you're going to run into. And if you can incorporate that into your whittle, then it's even better. So there you go. Next, what I like to do is to define where the hair is going to be. So we're just going to come down here, and we're going to say the hair is just going to kind of come down, sort of like that. I put a cut in here, and then I kind of come back around. And if I can find it where I, remember where I put that cut, I just kind of define that boundary. Kind of see over there, I'm just defining the boundary of that hair, and then typically I bring that down. What I think I'm going to do is make the hair kind of wrap like that. I'm going to have the hat going this way, and the beard and hair coming out that way. I think that's how it's going to work out. I don't know. We'll see how it all comes together. But just play around with different designs. These are so free form, it's front porch whittling kind of thing, just go with it. Alrighty. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side over here too. Only thing different here is I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to bring it down towards the back and wrap it around a bit. So we're going to do a little different. And then, so I just put a line in there. Again, defining the hair and the face. And then just come back in here and then define, remove that little bit of wood. Kind of like so. You can kind of see over there. Just play around with it. It's not that hard to do. Just take your time. So it's got hair kind of coming this way, and then the back. It's going to probably, we're going to have to remove some of this bark in the back here that I didn't do. Alright, so what I do here is I'm going to define, this will be the entire length of the figure. So I'm just going to kind of come around here with my knife and start defining that in the back of the hair, because this is going to be the bottom of the figure over here. So you're going to kind of come around here like so. So I'm just working my way around over here. If you can kind of see that. Let me get my hand out of the way. So I'm going to come down over here a little bit more and just remove the wood. Like so. And then we're going to make his beard kind of tie right into this. So I'm going to come down over here with the beard area. I'm going to put a line. I'm going to tie it right into where that piece on the bottom was over here. So then his beard's going to be up in here. something like that. You can kind of see we defined essentially where his beard's going to be. It looks a little sloppy actually right now, but yeah, we'll clean it up. That's it. So what I'll do here is eventually when we cut it, we'll kind of cut it over here at a bit of an angle. And then his hair and everything is just going to kind of flow in together right over here. So I'm not even going to, I'm going to come down here a little ways and define the, you know, his hair on his head and tying that into his beard over here. You know, the two of them kind of come together at this point. So that's all. Kind of like so, if you can kind of see that. I want to just have them come in together at this point down here, that's all. Like I said, these are really simple, easy little whittles to do, so it won't take you very long to do them. And then what we're going to do here is just kind of define where his, you know, his mustache and cheek are. So I'm going to put a little notch right there by the nose, and just kind of cut down and cut up to that. And that's just going to tie in right to the side over there. Just put a little notch in there like so. All right. Sometimes when the wood's a little wet like this, it doesn't come off too clean, but there you go. You can kind of see what we did over there. And then the same thing on this side over here. I'm just going to put a little notch right in there. So you got basically the cheeks over here. I guess you'd say cheeks, whatever. Part of his face. And the front part of the mustache. And then we're just going to kind of come in here, just to define the mustache a little bit more. Put a little notch. You can kind of see where I'm at over here. Maybe right about here. Kind of bring that down as well. I'm just going to tie that right into everything else over here on this side. Make it as easy as you can. Same thing over here. Let's bring that mustache down. Kind of trying to get it so I can show you. Right like over here, we're going to tie it right in. Right like so. And just cut up. It's like a little V like that. You can kind of see how I did it. And then I just start removing some of the wood right underneath that. You see? Kind of like so. There you go. Got a little mustache in there, kind of. And you kind of come back in here and clean up a bit. And just start adding a little bit of, you know, a little kind of faceting to the beard area, like so. And then in here, for the bottom of the mouth, I'll put a little notch in. I'll start over here, as you can kind of see where I'm at. And I put a little cut there. And then I'll kind of cut up to that, and then same thing on the other side. You kind of see I've made a little, looks like a little triangle underneath his mustache over there. And then I just nip off that triangle bit. So I'm kind of forming a bit of a lower lip on him, you could say. So a little triangle underneath there, and just take it back a little bit. Take off that, so it kind of forms a bit of a lip in there. And sometimes I'll come in here and just flatten that a bit more. So kind of like so. That kind of almost looks like he's got his mouth maybe slightly open. All that hair, he's trying to catch his breath. There you go. So with that, that's pretty much all you need to do. We could put a little indication of, I don't want to necessarily call them eyes, or just the bags under his eyes in here somewhere. Let's see, let me just clean this up a little bit. Like I said, when the wood's a little wet like it is, it can be kind of stringy. But right in here, you kind of see where I'm at over here. Right there, I'm going to put a little notch. I'm just going to put a little stop cut right like that. You kind of see where that is. And I kind of cut up and down to that. This just forms like a little bit of a something under there, like it's almost like a little bit of an eye. Flip it around, do the same thing on this side. That's all. No fuss. No worried about trying to get eyeballs and all that in there. Everybody can do that kind of, everybody can make those kind of cuts. And you kind of see it looks like he's got kind of droopy eyes or something. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's got his mouth up because he's sleeping. There you go, just kind of go around and clean it up a bit. Mine needs to be cleaned up a little bit more. A lot of times in here on the edge, just to form the nostrils, rather than trying to get a notch in there, which might be impractical on this little tiny piece like this, I'll just take little scooping cuts on either side, kind of coming from the bottom and taking just a little bit of a cut like that, just to kind of better define the nose. And you can kind of see with that, we're pretty much done, other than a little cleanup over here. What I do here is now is I'll kind of make sure I got the hat where I want it. Maybe I'll cut it back a little bit more over here. Again, I got to leave room for a hole in here, so I don't want to take too much away and weaken it too much, but in an effort to make it look interesting. So there you go. And that's pretty much it. With that, we're pretty much done here. I'm just going to define this a little bit more, but what I do then is I'll come in here and I'll cut this right out over here, this whole section. Just come here with a saw and cut this out, and then just clean it up a bit. So let me grab a saw. I'm going to cut this out. All I'm going to do, like I said, is kind of come in here at an angle and cut it, and then when I'm done that, I'll come back and I'll show you just how I clean it up. I'll be right back. Okay, what I did here, as you can see, here's the piece. I just cut that section right off over here. Sloppy cut that it is. You probably, if you have like a little scroll saw or something like that, probably better than using like I just did with a little hand saw. But that's it. And I just kind of come in here and clean up that that area, so the edge looks good. If you cut it cleaner than I did, you don't have to worry. You don't have as much cleanup, but I kind of slopped it up a bit. you sort of see here, we got this little guy. I'm trying to get a little bit of a curve in it, like this over here, just to get a little bit more. Like I said, it's curving on the top here and it's curving down that way. So you can kind of see. Yeah, you see how easy these are to do. And just when you're done, just, go around. If you see any, like I see back over here, it's a little sloppy. Just clean up those edges a little bit. Again, this is a little keychain thing that you're going to, have maybe a keychain to your workshop or your lawnmower or whatever, tractor, whatever you got. You hang it in your workshop, or I guess you could use it for your car too. Car keychain, definitely different. You just kind of go around and, like I am, just kind of clean up. But with that, I'm gonna call this done. I'm gonna drill a hole in here. I'm gonna probably put it right about there, right about here. So I'm gonna put a mark in there with my knife, and I'll just take a little hand drill. And I'll put a hole right through there, and that's where we'll put the key ring through. So I'm going to drill that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, there you go. A nice easy whittle. I think anyone could handle that. Grab your Stanley 199, your box cutter type thing, sharpen up your blade a little bit, and grab a branch and go at it. It takes no time at all, and you can see it's pretty simple. We didn't really put a lot of detail in there. So there you go. I actually kind of tinted it a little bit with a little red paint, just to kind of make it look a little different on the beard and hair there. So that's all. I just kind of hit it with a little acrylic paint, very light wash, so it's not too bad. And you can kind of see in the back here. So that's it. It was real easy to do. It didn't take a lot of time at all. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think down in the comment section over there. And if you have any questions, let me know. Alrighty, have a great whittling week. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.